So, John, it's we never do things the easy way, do we here? But a 3-2 victory. But before we talk about the game, let's talk about the meaning why both sides were here.
Well, it was an incredible, difficult day that we all went through as a football club and a wider community last year. Obviously, with what we've done over at Red Bank in commemoration for Paul, the legacy that he's created for the borough of the town, it's hard to put into words and superlatives of what that man's done for the local community of football, grassroots, Radcliffe. So to see that many people come through the gate today, honouring in the way that we did before the game, honouring during the game with a terrific game of football, was everything you hope for. Obviously his dad was here today and he's still struggling with it, as you can imagine, and we are as a football club. But that trophy, the Red Bank Centre over there with Paul's name on the side, is there to commemorate what unbelievable, wonderful work that man did for this football club, this town and the wider community over the last 8 years.
So key touches to mention now, obviously on him. I said it at the start of the commentary today. I've gone, hopefully we put on a show for him, as both teams did, and they did, and that's what we ended up seeing. But let's talk about the game. It was ended up being 3-2 to ourselves. Did it the hard way, as I mentioned at the start. But what did you make of it?
There was some very pleasing aspects of the performance, very pleasing stuff that we're starting to put together that we've seen in the other friendlies that we've done in training. Our approach play at times was unbelievable. Some of the stuff that we did to get to the edge of the box was so pleasing to see that quick, clever play around there to break down, a stubborn, good defensive side. It was really pleasing to see. I think the disappointing thing for us was the chances that we didn't take. The amount of chances we created, got in the opposition's box, was alarming at times, if I'm honest with you. And I include Jordan in that, because I can think of one off the top of my head. Again, a beautiful bit of play in the second half, and he tries cutting on his right foot. You've got to be ruthless in them positions. So some really good stuff, really pleasing stuff. It was a tough game. We knew before the game that it would be our toughest test of the pre-season. They've drawn with Buxton away, they beat Chester. So we knew it was going to be tough. That is a team full of quality. That play in a way that we're very similar to that we played 2 years ago when we won the NPL with a box midfield. It's very difficult. It doesn't matter what level you're at. If you've got quality players in them areas of the pitch, it's very difficult to pick up and who's going in, who's going to jump, and when to do it. I thought we got to grips with it really well. Obviously, their first goal was a huge mistake from Mateus. He'll hold his hands up to that. And then the second goal came from, again, a well-worked goal kick. DJ offside, well, not offside, but from a goal kick. Matt pulls off a brilliant 1v1 save, and then we rushed the next bit. We seem to make, every time we made a mistake today, we made 2 mistakes and 3 mistakes, which we haven't done in pre-season so far. But you've got to credit Berry for that, because they put us under pressure, enticed us in, and as I said, put us under pressure and made us make those mistakes. So some really good stuff, but also stuff that we'll look at and go, very avoidable things. It was a top game. I don't want to do anybody a disservice or anything about talking about dominating the ball. We should be better on the ball, but the way we created chances was very, very pleasing.
In terms of the creating chances, we took 3 of those chances eventually in the end. Jordan got all 3. What do you make of his performance out there today? Obviously, you alluded to him missing a couple of ones that you think he should have done better with, but overall,
listen, it's always great seeing the lads score an hat-trick. The third goal in particular was a brilliant cheeky finish, weren't it? But I didn't think he played that great, if I'm honest with you. I thought his hold-up play was poor, which is what he prides himself on. He's the captain. He's come back in an unbelievable shape. He's leading from the front in terms of our press. But I thought his hold-up play, which is where we all expect him to be the best, and what he prides himself on, was poor. It bounced off him far too often. But look, you've asked me a question. I've given an honest answer. You'll know where I'm coming from with that. But he took all 3 goals fantastically well, and that's what your captain, number 9, does.
And then looking ahead, but when you've seen how Berry plays, as you say, similar to ourselves at times, they've enticed the errors. Is that something that you can take into your own catalogue?
Well, yeah, you've got. If you're going to play the way we play, then you expect the opposition to set up in a certain manner to try and force you into mistakes, and that's what they did, as other sides have done in pre-season. Again, the first goal was a nothing goal, and again, I don't want to keep repeating myself about taking. Doing a disservice to the opposition, because I thought they were fantastic on the day, but it's poor from us, very poor. And the second goal again came from absolutely nothing. They themselves had chances that they created through quality, getting bodies up the pitch, pressing us. So, you know, as poor as their 2 goals were from our decision making, they've also missed chances as well. I'm not trying to get away from that. They didn't put them away. So we have a specific set of games in pre-season to get certain outcomes. We've had a tough pre-season when you think of the opposition. The week of Crewe, Aldsey, Fleetwood, Halifax, all full-time sides, and then you play Bury in the very next game. You know, they were specifically set up for a reason, to put us under certain pressure, and we wanted to play in a certain way to see what that would look like. At times we've been exposed in all games, and at times we've played unbelievable stuff that I didn't expect us to see so early in those games. So today's game was perfect for us. We knew what we were going to get. A trophy, as not that any lads were thinking about during the game, to commemorate Paul's, we've discussed, was there at the end, and it was dead pleasing that we showed that resilience in the last 10-15 minutes to keep doing the right things.
Obviously, we're a couple of weeks out now from the league officially starting. We've at the minute, I think it's just one more pre-season friendly left on Tuesday against Trafford. What we currently thinking ahead of the season starting?
We're still a long way away. Still 2 weeks, and Tom. We've got one game left against Trafford Tuesday, but we're trying to get another one for Saturday. And Tuesday again was picked specifically because playing against Trafford, which I think minor bird sides have done for the last 15 years, a brilliant surface. So you know what you're going to get, you know how they're going to play, and it'll be another good test for us. But from our point of view, it's just about getting closer to what our starting 11 looks like, and our squad especially. We had a lot of players out today. When you look at how many players we couldn't even fill a matchday squad today. So we've got lads hopefully that might be available for that, so they can get minutes. Lads that got on the pitch today will get minutes, and it's just about making sure that we're ready for 2 weeks' time.
Cheers, John. Thank you.